Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to explain 3 reasons why you should not buy an electric bike. The objective is to save you money, save space in your apartment and save the environment if you're buying something you don't really need. The reasoning behind this video, the backstory, is I'm doing a series on electric bikes, reviewing bikes that people have bought, some of the premium range, and one guy said, yeah, you can call the video how to waste €2,500 really quickly. That got me really interested. He spent ages deciding on this bike, getting all the right specs, getting the insurance and the locks, and he's never used it. So I'll talk for some of the reasons why that is. First of all, to be constructive, what are some good reasons for buying an electric bike? If you are repeating the same journey several times a week, such as your commute to work, and there's hills and it's quite far, you've got somewhere safe to lock the bike and charge it at work, for example, or you're visiting a relative multiple times a week, or you're going to the gym multiple times a week, you know the route, there's hills in it, you know you're going to be using the bike all the time, that makes sense. A second good reason is if you're carrying something. I used to carry 2 of my kids on the back of the bike, on the battery. It's in the back rack, and 1-2 sat on it. As they got bigger, it was just one on the back and the other one on their bike. But that was very handy to transport them easily to school or different activities. Another thing is if you're transporting something, maybe you work for Uber Eats, Just Eats, and you need a hand getting to locations quickly, carrying the food, that makes sense. So 3 reasons why you should not buy the electric bike. Number 1, you need to have a very good conversation with yourself about whether you're going to use it enough. A lot of people join gyms in January thinking I'm going to go all the time and get in shape, and they never do, and it's just a waste of money. So talk to yourself and check, am I really going to use the bike enough to warrant this big amount of money, the servicing, the taking of the space in my apartment? Or do I just like the idea of having a bike, but really it's going to drive me nuts when I keep seeing it and I'm just not going to use it. I don't want to use it as much as I think I do. So that's a question for you to reflect on. How much are you honestly going to use it? Number 2, probably the most important one for me, when I hear people saying they're getting an electric bike for fitness reasons, that makes no sense whatsoever. If you want to get fit and lose body fat, you do not have to spend any money at all. I've put a series of bodyweight exercises below in the comments. You can do these for free. Like this channel, you don't need to spend a lot of money to get on a bike. You don't need to spend any money to get fit. Now, if you're using the assistance on an electric bike to go up the hills, that is the exercise part. If you take that out of the equation, you're just going flat and downhill. You're not going to burn any calories doing that. Even if you're running a diet with a calorie deficit, it's not going to work. Now, you may say, I can't do the hills by myself. There are some lightweight, hybrid, hiking, gravel bikes, let's say between around €400 from B-Twin at Decathlon or Sports Direct, Muddy Fox. They're lightweight, aluminium frame, thin 28-inch tires. They are going to help you get up the hill yourself. You don't need an electric bike for that. On the flip side, I know some old people say they need help to get out and about. Some old people have actually died getting on electric bikes because it's just too powerful for them. They'd lost control and they crashed into a car. Another thing is that the bike's very heavy. Now, if it gets stuck in the tram tracks, or just you have a problem on the bike and you start to topple over, if you're old and frail, this 20-kilo bike falling to one side is not going to do you any favors on your back or neck. These batteries weigh a ton, about 3 kilograms, but they're just blocky and heavy. I know they're more expensive bikes. I've got thinner ones that you can take out, but it's a dead weight. Third reason is about security. No one thinks, oh, I'll get this bike, but it'll probably be stolen in a couple of weeks. No one thinks like that. No one thinks their bike's going to get stolen. They all think their building is safe, their car park or garage is safe, their apartment is safe, they're leaving it outside just for 10 minutes. Join Facebook groups about stolen bikes in your area and see how many bikes are being stolen and what the context is. In Brussels, I gave 2 bikes away recently to friends. These were old bikes. I gave them away for free. They were worth about €60. Both of them were stolen. One from outside a hospital within 10 minutes. Another one, they broke into my friend's building, broke the door open to steal the bike, and the bike was rubbish. So we both had conversations, me and these friends, saying like, what would they have done if this was a really expensive bike? You know, they've made an effort to steal a rubbish bike. What would they do if it was an expensive one? What measures would people go to? I think during COVID, a lot of the burglars or thieves can't break into houses, so they're targeting bikes. So just have a conversation with yourself again. What am I going to do if it gets stolen? Can I afford it? Can I wait for the insurance money to pay out? How am I going to feel about losing 2,500 euros potentially? Now, I know bikes, you can take the battery out. This is a big battery, obviously, but it's still, there's smaller bikes. They're a pain to carry, the smaller batteries, you know. You don't want to have to be taking this out all the time. It's a kerfuffle with the key. And then what are you going to do with it? Where are you going to put it? I know some bikes have a GPS. It's not as good as you think because it doesn't give you a pinpoint location to 1 meter. It's to about, I heard it's 50 meters, but even if it was 20 meters, it doesn't matter. The police can't get a warrant for a house if it's in a row of houses or in an apartment block if it's 20 meters, but I think it's 50, because it's not precise enough. They can't go knocking on all those doors asking to come in or breaking the door down because it's not precise enough for the court. It would only work if the location is in a house that's in the middle of the countryside, where that's the only possible place it could be. So don't think too much about using the Find My Bike feature on some bikes either. Okay, I hope that's been helpful. If so, give me a thumbs up if it's given you something to think about. If you don't agree, ask questions or comments in the comment section below, and subscribe for more videos coming up on reviewing the latest electric bikes, which you may or may not need, and accessories for bikes. Thanks.